What's the hidden secret to having a fair and consistent price book? Well, it's something that most people don't talk about, but it's absolutely essential, and it's a mechanical guide for hours. Here's how it works. Think about this for just a quick second. When you're charging your customer for a water heater or for a toilet, maybe a repair or a repipe, how do you keep the pricing consistent? And is it based on how long that tech's gonna take? I want you to think about that for a second. If you're using some sort of hourly price, some sort of hourly honest hour guide price book calculator that shows you how to charge by the hour, there's a couple of problems. Number one, are we using the hours that it'll take that tech or the average tech? What I mean by that is, if you've got a tech that goes out and is super experienced, has been plumbing for 20 years, and can do the water heater in 2 hours, do you charge 2 hours? Or do you base it off of your slowest tech who just started yesterday and is installing their first water heater for the first time, where it's going to take them 6 hours? See, at the end of the day, neither one of those answers are right. The customer can't pay less because you're better and more experienced, and they definitely can't pay more because you're slower and unexperienced. So we want an average time, something that is consistent across the board. That means that if I'm producing a service, if I'm producing a product for the marketplace, everyone is getting a consistent price, no matter how experienced the technician is or how unexperienced the technician is. Because at the end of the day, it's not that we need to charge more because they're slow. It's that we are investing in training for that plumber. And so we're going to make the normal average market value, and then we're going to lose a little bit of money on that as the technician gets faster. Vice versa, if the technician's super experienced or we've spent the time training them and now they're faster, we're still going to charge the same amount, but we're going to make the money quicker, increasing our hourly rate. It's natural. It's not based on what I think is going to happen. It's not based on what might happen, but it's based on what's actually going to happen. I was just watching a video the other day online, and a gentleman was breaking down price books, and he had all these variables. Consider that your employees won't work for this amount of time. Consider this amount of time off. Consider that they're going to get told no this amount of times. And the numbers they were using were staggering. It was almost as if you're planning on failing. And so it drives your hourly rate up so high that now becomes unconvertible on a toilet fill valve. And then if you actually look at that hourly rate, not only is it too much for a fill valve, but it's not enough for breaking concrete. So this idea that we're going to do this same every hour is worth the same amount of money, and we can predict how many hours we're going to work a day, is foolish. And it actually keeps you from success, because your planned failure now gets lived out. Because your price is so high, you put yourself in a situation where you can't always convert. Because your price is so high, you put yourself in a situation where you create a bad reputation. You need to have a mechanical guide for hours. You need to have something that everyone can use. The current plumbing company that I own right now, we do this inside of our Service Titan task code. We just put the task in there. For example, let's say it's a gas water heater that's 50 gallons. I might say, GWH for gas water heater. I might put the number 50. I might even put an A for atmospheric vent or a PV for power vent. And then I put a -001. Maybe I've got 4 power vents SKUs in my price book. So I go, GWH 50 PV, GWH 40 PV, GWH whatever. And I go -001, -002. So I'm keeping track of the number that I have there. And then I'm going to add one more number to that. I'm going to do another dash, and that's where I'm going to put my hours. So it might look like this: GWH 50-001-1.5, 3.0, 4.0. And that's the number of hours that I expect us to charge for that work. That's how I'm going to derive my price book. I'm going to show you some other things in another calculator, how to come up with these figures and when to use these figures, and also breaking down pricing strategy tiers. For example, how does a convenience store know to charge more for their Red Bull than Costco? Well, it's volume based, and I want to show you how to do that in a moment, because you're going to have some customers who are going to want to do the minimum, and you're going to have to be more at that price point that's a convenience store, and you're going to have other customers who want to do a lot more, and that needs to be the price point at the Costco for them to get some sort of benefit for doing more work, preventative work, additional work, upgrades. So as we lead you down this idea of how to build the perfect price book, and you take this video and you match it up with some of the other videos that we've taught on, you're going to get a full comprehensive view of not only how margins work, how pricing works, but the instrumental items that you need to be able to create that price book. The end result is more revenue, more conversions, and people spending more money with you. And one last point to that: if somebody has a toilet rebuilt they're not going to tell the world about it. No one brags about their tire that got pumped back up, but everybody brags about their new car. And if you can get this perfect price book down, people will buy more, convert more, and they'll have better stories to tell about the experience they had with your company. And we all know stories sell. Create that mechanical hours guide, and I promise you, you will see a more consistent pricing in your business, and you'll see a more fair price in your business. Now that you have a firm understanding of how the mechanical guide for hours works, you need to watch our next video to understand why it's so hard to build your price book and how to fix that.